Hey there, this is Andrew bringing you another Keyforge deck reveal and review. Another Dark Tidings deck coming in here. Oop. This one is Saurian. We know that. I saw it. The rest of the name is Awndeer, the correctly opinionated. Hey, I like that. I think we're going to see Logos here and maybe Sanctum because they really care about their opinions. No, well, we got totally wrong there. Star Alliance and Shadows along with Saurian. So between the Saurian and the Star Alliance, I would hope for some nice destroy-based board control, some plinky damage in Shadows, capture in Saurian, steal in Shadows, and maybe uh, some acceleration, some efficiency in Star Alliance. Maybe the ability to get lots of uses out of some cool, good creatures if we get them. This is not a house combo I'm expecting to be awesome, but we'll see. Always keep an open mind. We'll start off with the ISS Indominus. It's an artifact and ship, and it says action, exhaust up to 5 friendly Saurian creatures. For each creature exhausted this way, deal 1 to each enemy creature. Okay. Cerarium is an artifact with an amber that says each creature with the lowest power cannot reap. Interesting. Senator Quintina, more repay. After a creature reaps, exalt it. We have Sauropod. Enters play under your opponent's control. They can Omni it to gain 3 amber for themselves. And then you reveal your hand, and they put your creatures into play, and then you refill your hand. It's such a weird wall of text card. Very interesting effect. I have not had it. I've not seen it used extensively, so yeah, I think the sort of first pass wisdom on this is discard it, but really I don't think that people have played it enough to give a great oh yeah, it definitely is this way or not. Carpe Winum, exalt 2 enemy creatures. Got another one of those. Oh, see, that'd be great if you had like an enlist Numeri or something like that. We need a way to kill those creatures now. Consul Primus reaps to move an amber from a creature to another creature, and it'll enhance one of our creatures. Lapisaurus, 4 power, 2 armor beast with taunt, and enemy creatures exalt before they hit it. That's a lot of exalt enemy creatures. Wow. Just a lot of that. We have reach advantage. If the tide is high, a friendly creature captures 3, otherwise raise the tide. It has a bonus amber on it. Also, interestingly, I think oh no, Quintina and Primus are both repeats from Mass Mutation. So spoils the battle. Friendly creature captures 1. Each creature with amber on it captures 1 from its opponent. We have Undignathus, really big creature, but it deals no damage when fighting if the tide is low. There's our big creature. And we only have seen 4 creatures so far, so that's kind of a relatively low count. There's Venator Altum, bumping the count up a little bit. 7 power, big creature. All right, so that's it for Saurian. It's very interesting because I don't know what's going on with my video there. We get a bunch of exalt enemy creatures, and then spoils of battle is kind of not so great into that. And there's not a ton of capturing on our own, so that's very interesting. All right, on to. Sorry, the camera's not doing perfect. You'll just have to deal with it. I'll look into it afterward. Submersible is an artifact with an amber. It's a ship. It says while the tide is high, each friendly thief creature gains elusive. Um, that's cool. I like that it's a static effect. I don't know that or a constant effect. I'm not sure that it is going to have that great of an effect, and we'll see. We'll see how that works out because we don't have any thieves here already, right? So yeah, I don't think there are any in Sarian. Um, Safer, sorry, you choose one. Either you archive any number of friendly creatures from play, or you choose a creature and deal 1 damage to it for each amber your opponent has. That's interesting. We haven't seen good play effects, so far anyway, we probably wouldn't choose that archive option. The Fly Inspector and a third ship in this deck. After your opponent raises the tide, you destroy it, and you can action it to steal 1 if the tide is high. It's just so I think you get 1 steal and then it gets destroyed. So it's a very iffy card. Slow steal 1 is very iffy. Whisper, elusive and action lose 1 if you do destroy a creature. That can be interesting. Got 2 of them. It's going to hurt your amber supply to keep killing that way, though. So you got to just be aware of that. Gas Pipes Malone also makes an opponent capture from its own side before it fights. Got 2 of those. So really, we're just putting a ton of amber on enemy creatures. Really wish that we had a Word of Returning or something after that. Hobnobber is a 3-power elf thief with action if your opponent has 6 or more steal 2. That is benefited by the submersible, right? Because that would normally not be elusive. Adding elusive to that is pretty good. The Gas Pipes Malone getting elusive, that's fine too. Whisper already had it. One-Eyed Willa is already elusive if the tide is high. So, fight steal 1 if the tide is high. Elusive and skirmish seems fine. Yeah, that's fine. There's Shoulder Id with a capture icon on it. Okay. Got another Shoulder Id. A third Shoulder Id. Wow. So I gotta just say, this is like such slow steel for having, there's just not that much steel in here, and what there is slow. There's not that much damage either. So I just don't love Shoulder Id as a card. I kind of, would not be sad to not see that there. So Shadow's kind of a letdown there. Let's see what we get in Star Alliance. We start off with General Order 24. It's an artifact and law that says at the start of each player's turn, they must choose a creature they control and destroy each creature of the chosen creature's house. If that player has no creatures in play, destroy General Order 24 instead. It's really nice. It's a really nice way to keep the board clearing. It applies to you as well. So, and there's fun games you can play where if you share houses with your opponent, you can, pick a house that will hurt them, or they can do that to you too. So, interesting how that works out. But always a fun card to play around. So glad to see that here. Amberak is an upgrade. Play Raise the Tide, and it gives a creature at the start of your turn if the tide is high, capture 2. That's fine. I don't love it, but it's fine. Got 2 of those, 3 of those. Wow. Biome Discovery, another Tide Raiser. Play if the tide is high. You may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and discard one of them. Otherwise, raise the tide. That look at the top 2 and discard 1 is not an effect I love. Raise the Tide is fine if you need it. We don't care too much about the tide here, though. Lieutenant Karkar giving us a big body and some more taunts. Got 2 of those. All right. Light of the Archons, always nice. It's an upgrade with an amber that gives a creature +1 power and +1 armor for each upgrade attached to it, including the Light of the Archons. So, maybe now we have a really big Hobnobber or a really big One-Eyed Willow. That could be okay. Shield You Later, 3-power robot with 2 armor, but it can be played as an upgrade, and then it gives the creature +2 armor. Obviously, if you combine that with the Light of the Archons, you're now +2 power, +4 armor. Wow. Technobabble, stun a creature and each of its neighbors that shares a house with it. I always like to see that card. Never sad about that. Um, Zap, gain an amber, deal 1 damage to a creature for each house represented among creatures in play. And another zap. Nice. Yeah, this seems nice. So, not a great upgrade package, though, to go with that Light of the Archon. Oh, well, we have the Amber Vax. I mean, oh, I guess if you throw all 3 Amber Vax on, that could get pretty crazy. So, but we didn't really have a way to do much with that damage once it's on our creatures. So, still pretty iffy. How much raw amber do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. 1 in shadow. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The carpet Venoms probably give us 2 each, so 14. Hmm. Yeah, that shadow's not so great. Um, yeah, the amber generation just isn't that high here. There wasn't really hardly any amber control. Because all the Saurian stuff was about exalting things, exalting the opponent's creatures. There's not so much about capturing even, or certainly not using the captured amber. So this one seems bad. I think this one might be like a 55. And watch, it's going to disagree with me, but I think it probably is. That's probably what it deserves. I don't think this one's very good at all. I'm going to pause and we'll come back and see whether I got it. All right, so here it is. My guess was 55, and Dex of Keyforge actually says 52. So I guessed too high, but I don't feel too bad about that because I felt like I was guessing pretty low. So yeah, and you look, so the expected amber 15. That's I had counted up to 14, so found one more here, I guess. Um, counted a little differently. No, yeah, no artifact control. This shows decent amber control at 11, but it's I kind of think a lot of it's pretty sketchy, and then that speed is just so low. I mean, Biome Discover, I guess, gives you a little speed, but there's really no. You're just playing the cards in the order they come up, and the cards aren't that good. So there's a kind of deck that has low efficiency, but just has a ton of good cards, and so you're always picking from a hand of good cards. And if you can play 4 instead of 2, you're really happy, but you're always playing really high value cards. And this deck is not that. This deck, you're going to be playing low value cards in the order they came up. So pretty bad, but that's all right. It could even be a sort of a reversal candidate, except I think the amber generation is maybe a little too high for that. And I don't know how I would feel about giving a general order 24 to somebody in reversal, but but it could almost be in that range, honestly. So yeah, that is Awndeer, the correctly opinionated. Maybe the incorrectly opinionated. I don't feel so sure about that. Anyway, I enjoyed opening it and talking through it. I hope you enjoyed it too, and that you'll get out and forge some keys.